Okay, ladies, it is our favorite person, Brianna Wiest, time. And our question this month is, if you really believed you didn't have control over something, you'd accept it as a matter of fact. What do you struggle to accept that you have no control over? And what part of you makes you think or hope otherwise? One more time.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yep.
If you really believed you didn't have control over something, you'd accept it as matter of fact. What do you struggle to accept that you have no control over? And what part of you makes you think or hope otherwise? Tracy?
I just sitting with this because you always have control. I guess what I think right away when you said that is don't tell me I don't have control over something. But maybe I'm thinking more, don't tell me I don't have control over my actions of how I deal with something. So I don't know. No, I just go, okay, so I lose my job. I still have control over what I do with that. Give me an example. I don't have control over my health, but I'm still going to do. I get something not nice told to me about my health. I'm still going to do stuff in my mind that will try to get me healthy, whether it does or not.
Yes, you get to control the thing. I think the question is defining that you always have control of you and your
hmm
responses to things.
Okay.
hmm
But you do not have outside control of other things. You don't control the weather. You
Okay.
don't control people's driving habits. You
Hmm.
don't control how somebody interacts with you.
Hmm.
You don't control how um, somebody thinks of you.
Hmm.
You don't control if somebody lashes out at you. You don't control whether if someone decides they want to end a relationship. Like there's a lot of
Really? I
things.
don't think so.
There are a lot of things outside of our control. The only thing we do have control over is the response that we want to give that particular thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know if I have anything I can I gotta reread this question
Yeah. So
again
what is
because
she asking
what do
you?
you struggle to accept that you have no control over? I
So
think for the longest time, I struggled to accept, okay, this is just going to be out there, but that people are not going to like me.
Mhm.
As a reformed
Mhm.
people pleaser,
Mhm.
the thought of somebody not liking me, not liking my outfit, not liking, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I, it would drive me up a wall that I couldn't control. So it would be kind of a control because I couldn't win that person over. Now I could give two cahoots whether somebody likes me or not. But that was the hardest thing for me to do. And I can't say it doesn't creep in every once in a while,
Mhm.
but what part of you makes you think or hope otherwise? I don't think I hope or think otherwise. I think I just really worked hard on myself to understand that I don't always like everybody. So if I don't always like everybody, it's okay to not be liked by anybody. The only thing, you see what I'm trying to say?
Mhm.
So that was a hard one for me that I had no control over. So that was mine. I don't know. What about you guys?
Yeah, I would say ditto for that one as well. And I'm not going to say that I'm completely over it.
Like I said, it creeps
It
in.
bothers me. Yeah. If
Yeah.
I, it's like, oh, well, if I could show them that I'm this or that I'm that, then they would change their opinion of me, which I have no control over. I literally have
Mhm.
no control over that. I can do whatever, say whatever, and I literally have no control over that outcome.
Yep. And then we go back to not being true to ourselves.
Hmm.
Yeah. So there is, I guess, a reframing of who it is, whose opinion it is, that if they show discourse or they whatever, there is then a judgment on my behalf as to whether or not I'm going to give this any, bandwidth or not. You
Right.
know, do I care? Do I not care?
Right.
How important is it me to want to try to take control of that potential situation?
Yep.
Yeah. How much effort do I want to give it? Is it really
Yeah.
important? Who are they? Yeah.
So isn't that the basis of the question though, where she's kind of saying, if you don't have control of something, how are you reacting to it? And it doesn't really matter what it you don't have control, it's more matters how you deal with that
Mhm.
not having control.
Yeah, in that situation that I just described, if I was going to actually put in the effort to try to change an opinion
Mm-hmm.
that somebody had of me and I was not successful, then I'm the one that's I'm not accepting the fact that's out of my control. It's like
Right. I get you.
I don't get it. Like I can't, that's
Right.
not up to me, right? I'm not the one that is controlling any of that. Outside of me, I control nothing. Nothing.
Right. Agreed. I see your little brain turning, Miss Tracy B.
Like the easiest thing is the weather, right? Some people will let the weather dictate how they live their life, right? Oh, it's raining today. I'm not going to go for a walk. Oh, it's really cold and snowy out. I'm not gonna do this. Oh, we can't have our picnic today because, instead of not letting those outside circumstances control what it is that they had planned or what it is that they had wanted to do in the first place. That's how I interpret that question.
Mm. No, I'm
Yep.
just trying to think of something that is substantial
Mm.
that
Well, it doesn't have to be substantial.
Oh.
well, it should if I'm going to get all bothered by it, shouldn't it? In my opinion, if I'm going to get bothered by it, like,
Um, you could
Uh,
be somebody who, like, if down here, since I'm in Florida, if you're an avid golfer and it rains every day, you can get teed off and like be like it's always ruining your golf game. Like, there's outside sometimes little things that really affect people, and it's the littlest of things. It doesn't have to be substantial. It substantial to me, substantial to Tracy, and substantial to you are three different
mm,
things, you know? So I don't think it matters what it is. I think it matters more on your reaction to it.
yeah, I'm just trying to think of something. I think the biggest thing for me would, if I didn't have which I don't have control, is if my kids turned on me or something. That would be totally out of my control, and
Yeah,
I don't know what I would do with that because that is not something that I would naturally go, well, this is how you fix it. So that would
yeah,
probably be the biggest thing because they're my kids, and it would just and I you hear these stories where families don't get along and things like that, and I think like that to me would be huge.
mhm.
I've gone through the someone not like me and all that. I've really worked on that, and so that's to me not as much. I don't see the energy that the kid thing would be an energy thing, would
Mm.
take a
yeah.
lot for me.
And I
Mhm.
understand that also because I've been in a family situation, not my children, but a family situation where there was a huge rift.
Yeah.
And I had to learn to release and let go, that I couldn't control it. I
Mhm.
couldn't be on both sides of the fence. I couldn't be like the gatekeeper. I couldn't be the negotiator. And it wasn't good for me, my mental health. And I had really had no control over it.
Mhm.
Like the more I tried to control it, the
Mm.
more it got like the person became more obstinate.
Yeah.
So when I released it, it was like I popped a balloon.
Yeah.
Like when I let it go, I popped this balloon, and it's the relationship has never been the same, and it won't be. And that was I just released it and had to let it go.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And the control was you go, I
Yep,
am accepting this is where whatever is happening, which is hard to do as well, right?
yep, yeah,
Yeah.
because I don't have holidays with this person. I don't. There's nothing. So it's hard sometimes,
Yeah.
but that's okay. I don't have control over it,
Hmm.
but I have control over my mental health.
Right.
And that was more important. So,
Mhm.
yeah, but
I mean, it could be
I
things
hear
like
what you,
control over how Christmas turns out, or how
yeah,
Thanksgiving turns out, or how Easter turns out. I want to control all of, the happiness of all of that, and that like people like to be in control.
mhm.
There's a lot of feelings of
I think then they
outcome.
feel,
They
yeah,
their
yeah,
outcome is they're the ones that will dictate the outcome.
yeah,
Which to a certain extent, maybe you can, but like you don't have the ultimate control over, especially if you've got somebody else involved,
Yeah.
how everybody else is going to act, react, do whatever, right?
right, right,
So that's where all the unknown is. But people like to be able to think that they can control those
yes,
circumstances.
yeah,
And that's where it gets really difficult for people to get out of that problem because they're trying to control it. They don't necessarily even realize that they are trying to control something. They're just like, this is the outcome I want. This is what I'm going to do to make sure that this happens. This is all the energy that I'm going to put into this in order to
yep.
make sure that it turns out the way I want it to turn out. And then there isn't the realization that that really isn't how it works, you know?
And it's how they think it's supposed to turn out. It's
Hmm.
how people visualize it. It's
Hmm.
supposed to be instead of just being.
Yeah, and then there's disappointment about the fact that
Yeah,
the outcome wasn't the way they wanted it, and what's wrong with that person? Why aren't they playing ball the way I want them to play ball?
yep,
You know what I mean? It's like, but like there isn't that realization that those are the expectations that are outward of them.
yeah,
It takes a lot to go, you know what? I really don't have a lot of control other than me. That's it. I'm the only one. I can do what I wanted. I can do what I want. I can do what I think. I can do whatever, but outside of that,
yeah,
and I can choose my response. I have control over my
Hmm.
response to how an outcome turns out.
yep.
But a lot of people don't even see that as a choice.
No. And people don't realize the freedom that comes without
Hmm.
when you stay present and not try to control things.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's a hard one. Yeah. So, what about you? How would you answer this question? Put it down in the comments for us. Share this with somebody who you think would benefit from this. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe, and make sure you hit notifications so you know when the next episode comes out. Until next time.
Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you as a regular member of our community.